everybody. I'm in front of the office of the jail for Hillsboro, Oregon. I was in jail for something I didn't do because Robin Baker threw me in jail. It's a long story. It happened in 2012. And I tell people this because other people go to jail falsely too. That's one of the points I'm trying to get across at the moment. I'm trying to let people know that sometimes the system's a little broken, and that's part of the reason why Dexter Morgan does what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen that TV show series? You know, on HBO, Dexter Morgan. He's gonna Dexter Morgan you, kill you instead. He was working for the Miami Police Department, but on the side at night he would just kill people that escaped and slipped through the system. And that happens in life, and sometimes the bad people don't go to jail, and sometimes the good people go to jail. That's probably how I should have opened this video, because the wrong people may watch this video, like Robin, maybe people that know Robin. They're gonna tell my dad, oh my god, he's lying about Robin Baker, other people in the house. Maybe Jamie Dawson, maybe other people. And they're going to say, you can't say my name, even though other people can. Even though the government knows them. Even though a lot of people know them. It's already in public. Like, your Facebook profile is exposed to 2 billion people, plus other people too, all around the world. And you have no idea how not private and personal Facebook is, because they sell your stuff to other people, advertisers, countries, all sorts of things that you may not know about if you don't already know about it. There's a trailer park that I've been to maybe with my mom 20 years ago with somebody that went to our church in Cornelius. I don't know who it was. I mean, I know, but I don't know the name. But I'm just really sad. Sad about everything that's going on in the world, and even, personally with my life. Well, actually, I'm not really sad about my life specifically. I mean, it's tough at times, but I'll tell you, Katie Arnold, I'm not sad and all the other stuff. I'm not gonna end up dead or anything, even though I may say this thing or that thing, but you may not really know, and that's the one thing I'm sad about, angry about a little bit. Not really, but I'm saying that for dramatical effect, because I want people to understand what I'm trying to say. I want people to remember and think about and analyze what I say, but they don't. They take everything at surface level. They just look at it at a very small kind of way, and they don't really look at the whole thing, the whole story and everything. I told my dad that this morning. So if you don't know, I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold. It's 2017, 12/28. Yesterday I posted a lot of videos and stuff on YouTube and Facebook, and Robin saw it. So I gotta talk about that again, because then my dad said, oh, don't do that again, or don't do that. And Robin's like, well, I'm gonna call Facebook and do what the left does. Good. You know what the left does. You know what people like Obama, Hillary Clinton, all the people that are liberal in the blue states, those kinds of people. No, I'm sorry if you're a part of that, because right now I'm not really talking to you, because you're probably not going to listen to this video. Or if you are, you're not going to see and hear what I'm saying, because you have your own world, you have your own way of looking at things, and right back at you. You could say the same thing about me and say, well, that's your opinion or whatever, but man, I tell you, I just got done posting on Facebook. I said that Dad banned me from the internet totally. Now, is that true? You could say no. So Dad could say, no, I didn't do that. But in effect, he did, indirectly or in a way. That's the way that I interpret it. Or this what I'm trying to say. Behind me is a Scotty's place. My middle name is Scott. Joe Scott Montana. It was the guy that I was named after, the NFL quarterback for the 49ers. And then my dad liked that. And I'm trying to respect my father. And I just made a video about that a few minutes ago. About how I try to respect my father. But he may not know that because respect is something that you cannot see. In some cases, maybe you may be able to see it. Or whatever. You have your definition of respect. When you have your requirements. You say, well, respect has to be like this, like that. You gotta say thank you, and you gotta look a certain way, dress a certain way. Said who? That's what I said. Said who? Said who? Nobody died and made you king to say that, there cannot be a debate about what is respect. And does my father deserve respect? That's another question. And does he really give me respect? My dad may say that I need to look for work. I need to go work, get a job and stuff. But saying that would mean that I'm not already working. Now, do I already work? That's a question. I would say I am because I'm a steamy writer. I'm a Bitcoin investor. I'm an online English teacher. I repeat. An online English teacher. I'm a writer, a teacher, and an investor in something like the stock market called Bitcoin, and that helped me buy a plane ticket. So maybe I have money and maybe I don't, but people don't really know exactly, or some people don't know because they don't really follow me. Like Robin, for example, she may say that she knows me. She may say that she knows what I'm talking about and that I'm a terrible person who doesn't know how to work. But again, that goes back to denying my life. They deny my life. People like Robin, even my dad, it seems that they don't know what I do in my life. Because like my dad, he doesn't talk about what I did in Vietnam. And Katie Arnold didn't tell my dad what I did because dad said, oh, Joe was homeless for 5 years or something like that. Maybe he was a little drunk or whatever. You could say, well, that doesn't count, that doesn't matter, but he said it, so I felt like he doesn't really know what's going on. Now, I say the word felt and feel. I say that a lot. I write about it. The word feel, and I've said this yesterday in my live stream on Facebook, and I put it on YouTube. I'm trying to put it on YouTube. The word feel. Let me tell you about the word feel. Feel. It doesn't mean that it's actually true. I'm saying that it feels to be that way. It's a perception. Scott Adams talked about that. The creator, Dilbert. Go watch his videos. You probably don't. And you probably won't. Some of you guys won't. If you aren't already watching Scott Adams. If you're not already watching Mike Cernovic or Alex Jones or Stefan Molinix. These guys are big and millions of people are watching their videos on YouTube and on Periscope, Facebook, all over the internet. They're watching these people, the names I just said. If you remember the names, you probably already know who they are. If you don't, then you probably haven't taken the red pill, and you're probably some kind of weird liberal, and you probably hate me because I'm calling you a weird liberal, and that's too bad because you're just a troll. A little bit like Robin Baker. And now, my dad will yell at me and tell me, don't talk about her. Don't say anything about her. You can't talk about her. You can't talk about your life on the internet. And that's why, going back to what I said, like he said, don't do that. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about people in your house. And I wrote on Facebook that my dad banned me from the internet. Because that's what he said. He didn't say, I ban you from the internet. But he said, you can't talk about this, can't talk about that, can't do this, can't do that. But that's what the internet is all about. And now, am I in some kind of contract, like a work contract or something, where, it's a non-disclosure agreement with my father? Am I in some kind of contract? Well, he didn't hand me a paper, so I'm not really sure if that's the case. You can argue and say, well, you got to respect your father and do whatever he says. But where's the line between what you do and what you don't do? What is right and what is wrong? What is acceptable and stuff? Because you have to wonder, like, is there a line? Because if there isn't, then you might be willing to do anything, and that's not a good idea. You know, some people don't know where to draw the line, and you have to draw the line. I mean, you have to. It's better to trust me. Would you doubt that? What happens when people don't draw the line? Historically speaking, that's why people don't know what I'm talking about if they don't study history, you know. And that's unfortunate that people, you know, won't know. And I say, I must be living in the wrong state at the moment. Now, will I go and live with my mom? I don't know. So, are you watching this video and you're gonna be like, oh my God, he's talking about his mom. What does he say about his mom? I don't know. I really don't know. I was a little bit impressed and a little bit surprised that Robin woke me up, you know, sleeping in my room. Crystal's room, Katie's old room, Rick's original room, you know, original house, 163 in Forest Grove. You know, Robin woke me up. Not woke me up, but I heard her talking about me again almost every morning. Is that okay to talk about? Can I talk about that? No, you can't talk about what's happening in your house because it's Robin's house. That's what my dad says every night. He comes home drunk. He's like, it's your house. Beep. Bitch. Female dog, bitch. How do I say that? And stuff like that, other words too, you know. Hey, blah, 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 and I recorded something like that. So, you don't respect your father because you let people know what your father does. You can't do that. You can't let people know what your father does or what other people in your house. Oh, wait, no, it's not your house anymore. It was never your house. It was always Dad's house. What? Really? Well, yeah, legally speaking, maybe my father's house, even though the rent, the lot where we put the house on, the trailer, is on a lot in the trailer park, and that's in my mother's name. Still my mother's name. He hasn't changed that, so does that matter? Am I too much of a lawyer? Too much of an attorney? Too crazy with the law and stuff? Too technical? For you? For your taste? Or for anybody? Am I out of my mind? You talk about something like that, you know, what's on the paper, the documents? Well, my mom, for the space, for the lot, 163, in the Rose Grove Mobile Home Park, Trailer Park, Community, at 3839 Pacific Avenue, 163-971162277. That's right. That's the address. So if you want to call me a crazy person, all right, call the cops or something. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I told Robin. I say that to anybody. Robin called the cops before. You know, and I was in jail for 2 weeks for something I didn't do. I had to admit to doing something I didn't do, and I tell people that because that's not good. I'm not a bad person for lying to the court because I made a deal with the DA because the DA told me to lie to the judge so that I could be, you know, set free after 2 weeks of being in jail. And 2012, that was 5 years ago, right before I went to Vietnam, to live in Vietnam, work and help people, make the world a better place, one oatmeal at a time. That's what I said on the Comcast Wanted Adventure host. So when I was auditioning as a green oatmeal on TV, and my dad saw it on TV because it was on the Comcast Sport Network channel, station 38, back in 2009 or 2010 is when they had it on TV. I want to make the world greener, and that's what I said when I was on TV. I've been on TV. I've made a lot of videos for the past 21 years or so, since '96, and I tell people my story. I'm walking back to Forest Grove from Hillsborough, from the max, 20 miles, maybe less than 20 miles, maybe just 5 miles. I might be exaggerating. Originally, I don't know how far. Originally, I said I was 20 miles away. Maybe not 20 miles away. But I kind of said 20 because I thought I was halfway between Forest Grove and Portland. And Portland to Forest Grove, it's about 40 miles, according to some people or something in the map, and depending on where you start and everything. But the point of what I'm trying to say, in my ramble and rants, that people don't really listen to, except for maybe Robin and other people, maybe, just so that they can then yell at my dad and say, oh my God, he's talking and he's saying stuff. Oh no, he can't say this. That's what a liberal does. And that's what makes me so sick and angry about this world, is that the good people are getting persecuted and the other good people are not doing anything. And on top of that, most of the time, in most cases, a lot of the good people are not defending the other good people, like me. And more than that, in some cases, they will side with the bad people, the liberals, those kinds of people, and other people, and believe and endorse and tolerate the lies and the bad stuff and everything, you know, all the bad stuff that the left is talking about and saying and doing and everything, including, you know, stuff that they say about me, stuff they say about Donald Trump, stuff that they say about Alex Jones and Mike Cernovic and other people. I'm saying these names, I'm name dropping and stuff. And maybe some people know what I'm talking about. And maybe if they have time, maybe some famous people, maybe not, or maybe just some average Joes. I'm a Joe. My name is Joe. I work in a button factory. Maybe some average Joes can, you know, contact me maybe someday. Say, hey, yeah, I saw your video. I agree with you. And that's good, because some people do agree with me. The problem is that some of those people are not watching my videos. But that doesn't mean that they don't agree. It just means that they don't know me yet. But I guess that's okay for the moment. And it can be very difficult. It can be very difficult. So I tell you, it can be difficult if you don't, you know, if you don't have faith. That's what we're talking about in the Bible study last night. I was going to the Bible study at the Pottersville library and doing live streams Wednesday, and then I went to the potluck and the Bible study at 7 after the potluck. The Bible study is at the First Christian Church in Pottersville. Pastor King, he's been following me on Facebook, and he knew me back when I was going there. 2011, 2012, and that was good. And he was happy to see me coming back to America after 5 years in Vietnam. I still got a lot of work to do. Now he's talking about that. My plan, I was thinking about this last night. My plan was, like, I was gonna make a video that was like not about like my life and the world and everything, all this stuff. It was gonna be just like a song, for example. I was thinking of a song that I was gonna sing. It's a good idea. I don't remember exactly the tune. I have a lot of good ideas when I'm walking, when I'm maybe on a bus or something, when I'm sleeping. And if you don't have a place to publish your stuff, to release it, to let it all out, then you lose it. If you don't have a way to write it, to blog it, you know, to make a video or something, you may lose it. Talk to Michael Jackson. I'm not here to say that I like little boys. And that's what Robin was saying. Like, yesterday morning, she was just yelling at me and saying, because of something I said in a video, out of the thousands and thousands of videos I've been making for 20 years, that the one, or some of them, makes me a terrible person because I might have said, whoa, I Michael Jackson. I love little boys. Does that mean I love little boys? Or is that some kind of satire? Is it some kind of comedy? Is it some kind of, like maybe I'm playing a character? Maybe it's a movie. Maybe it's out of context. Maybe it's not the whole video. Maybe this is not a combination of things. Maybe it's a combination of things. Maybe it's not the whole story, the whole context. And I'm trying to tell people that. I'm spitting right now, and I'm just trying to tell people, hey, wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee. Like, it's so sad, and I'm not necessarily like angry. It's hard to say, if you look at my egg face, whatever kind of face that I have, the hey Arnold, football head man face, whoa. You may not know. Am I happy? Am I angry? Well, I'm a little bit hungry because they're not feeding me. Oh, well, I got some food stamps for 1 month. Got to get my dad to sign something. This says like I'm working for him or like volunteering with him 20 hours a week or something. And if he signs it and I send it in, maybe email or fax or something, or go back there and they accept it, maybe through the mail or something, get him to sign the document, maybe I could get the food stamps, like $190 a month thing. For the next 11 months after that, going all the way to November. Then I'll probably have to reapply again December. Assuming that, I'm living there for the next year and everything. How will that happen? Who knows? If you're watching the video, here's my disclaimer. I have no idea what I'm talking about and what I may or may not do. You have no idea, because I have no idea either, because I don't really make a lot of plans. I do and I don't at the same time. And I have a lot of things that I'm thinking about and working on. And I know a lot of people, and I'm trying to do a lot of things that people don't give me credit for the things I've done. And the things I'm doing. The things I'm trying to do. I'm not out of my mind. I'm just very, very creative. I'm very, very capable of taking care of myself, because I took care of myself for 5 years in Vietnam. And before that, I took care of myself at times that might be debatable and questionable at times. Or for some people, it'd be like, oh, what about this thing? What about that thing? Oh, what about the thing you did with the sugar cane and the pagoda? What about that other time with the one person, the other people that liked it? They can't steal your bike. What about all the different things that happened in Vietnam for 5 years, from 2012 to 2017? What about this thing and that thing? And they ask me this question. Vietnamese people sometimes. I love Vietnamese people. Some people not so much. And some the expats and the foreigners that go to Vietnam, and also people online, some of the trolls, some of the good people, some of the people I don't really know. All kinds of different people you see online, all over the internet and stuff, over the years, talking about stuff they heard about, rumors and stuff that they heard from a friend of a friend of a friend, or something like that, things that they don't even know anything about. And they're like, hey, I heard that you molested a girl. Really? And people say that about Donald Trump, which is not really true. And some of the people that still think Donald Trump is some kind of pedophile, like Michael Jackson, they're idiots. And I'm really sad. I have to call you what you are if you don't do your homework. And even some of the people in my house, they don't know what I know. And I've been learning so much, especially about the world, like about the FRS. Can't say it right. The Federal Reserve System that started in 1930. That was part of the system that was taking the money, the US dollar, stealing it, kind of turning into a different thing. It was starting before that. The whole move started in the 1800s with a company with the same name as the USA. Then there was the FRS, Federal Reserve System, which is not in America. Then the dollar started going up, the gold standard, and you go to the Fort Knox in Texas, or wherever Fort Knox is, there's supposed to be a lot of gold that represents the dollar and the American money, which is not American. They stole it, or it's not there, because in the 1960s, 1970s or so, they started saying, well, you can't go in there. And some people are like, well, I guess there's nothing in there. Maybe some people went in there. and that means that there's no gold standard, so the dollar's not real, and also the FRS, the Federal Reserve System, is in America in a way, partly, but you gotta follow the money, follow the trail of the money, because part of it, or most of it, is in Europe, maybe some other countries, but not America. They have some offices in America, and there's some kind of, communication, transactions, business things that they do, but the base is in Europe. Now I kind of understand why Alex Jones talks the way that he does. Not really sure if I could ever be Alex Jones, and I'm not really sure if I could place him, but you gotta be a little humble, maybe. I mean, I believe in it, but it's difficult to be humble. I'm trying to be humble and respectful. It's hard when some people accuse you of not doing that, being that, whatever. I'll do my best. And if you want to be a part of my oatmeal, be my little oatmealians, that's great. And you can, let other people know what I'm talking about, spread my videos and stuff, steal my videos, copy and paste, cut them, make your own videos, whatever you want. My stuff's in the open domain and everything. And other people need to understand that that's going to happen whether or not somebody gives you permission to use your stuff. Some people are going to do it. And whether they can or not is a question that you can have, but that doesn't stop it from happening. It happens. Lots of things happen. But when you're in the public, people are gonna take photos of you, make videos of you. When you're in somebody's house, can somebody record you if you're in their house? Or are you in their house? What if it's your house and their house? Then is it a privacy conflict, violation, or crime, or what have you? That's the thing that I would ask Rob Baker, because that's what she's accusing me of, and that's unfortunate. So maybe I go to jail in the future. Maybe the police come and arrest me because they said, well, you made these videos, and you're not allowed to make these videos. Now that could happen, and that goes back to the beginning of the video if you're still following. That people are accused of crimes that are not really crimes, while the more bad people are running around. And there are people who steal lots of money, maybe $100, some people, $1,000. Some people millions and millions of dollars, like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Obama, the Bushes, other famous people, some people not so famous, George Soros, Rothschild, Rockefeller. They're a little bit more smarter, the last three names, but they're doing it. A lot of people in Hollywood, in the NFL, all over the world, they're doing things to little girls and boys. So you get angry at me because you think I like little boys, while people are having sex with little boys and girls. They're doing terrible things, and they're killing and murdering, raping, and then murdering little 5-year-old boys, little 5-year-old girls. This is something that Alex Jones talks about too. Other people talk about it too, especially like in Europe, but it happens in America in a lot of different industries and some religions. There's one religion that does it more than any other for the last 1,400 years. I want to talk about how they're taking over the world. One of the most famous last names, or first names, is Muhammad. Now, what's in a name? Okay, maybe it doesn't really matter what your name is, and maybe it doesn't really matter if your religion is the same thing or not. But you gotta study your religion and study the history of the people that follow a religion. Now, it's not a race, it's a religion. And you gotta let people know and ask people questions if they don't already know. Look at 911 or 9/11. What happened? If you don't already know, that's too bad. Because in New York, there were 3 buildings that fell. 3! 1, 2, 3! Is anybody watching this video that doesn't already know that? Some people know that there was 3, but 2 airplanes. 2 airplanes, 3 buildings fell down. You know, 1 airplane hits a building in New York in 2001. The building goes down. Even though buildings don't go down when airplanes hit it, you know that. You don't know that. You don't know that. Another airplane hit another building, and it went down on 9/11. You know, 9/11. 16 years ago, okay? There was a 3rd building, 1, 2, 3, in New York. I'm not talking about the Pentagon. I'm not talking about the field, because there were 4 airplanes. 2 airplanes in New York, 2 airplanes not in New York. There were 3 buildings, 1, 2, 3, 3 buildings in New York, and the 3 buildings fell down. Airplane hit the one World Trade Center building, and the other airplane hit the other World Trade Center building, and then there was a 3rd building that fell too. Why did it fall? If you don't know, I'm not saying what happened, I'm asking a question. And I encourage you to ask other people these questions. You don't have to tell everybody what you think, what you know, and everything right away. Do it slowly, be patient. If you are maybe a part of the new left, not the new left, sorry, the new right. If you were like some kind of conservative or something, if you took the red pill, if you're trying to understand the world, history, what happened with JFK, why are the frogs gay, what happened with 9/11, what happened in 2017 and 2016 with all the different cases like Charlottesville, what happened in Las Vegas on the 1st of October 2017. You're gonna ask people these questions because a lot of injustice is happening. It will get worse if you don't stand up to talk about it. That's why I talk about the injustice in my life as an example of the bigger injustice that are happening all around the world in so many cases. And that's what this video is all about. But I apologize if you're bored with my personal life and you don't want to hear about me, Oatmeal Joy Arnold, talking about my life, where I'm from, the people I talk to, people in my house, what they say or not say, what they accuse me of doing or not doing, or saying or not saying, etc. But I say that to say, stuff's happening. Do something about it, or not. But if you don't do anything, don't complain. I do what I can, but I don't get credit for it in a lot of cases. But I do things. I do a lot of different kinds of things, and I say things, and people don't get it. Some people don't get it, and they don't know what I'm saying, like my dad. And my concern, my beef, my problem is with my dad, not Robin, not Jamie, not the other people, not anybody in my house except for my dad. This morning, the other people, like Robin, they're like, trying to make it about me and the other people, especially my dad. My dad continues to say, hey, you're creating problems with these other people. No, I'm not. The problem that I have is with my father. I'm yelling and stuff. So some people are gonna, watch this video and be like, wow, look at that kid. He's just yelling at his father. Man, he's just so disrespectful. Like, he doesn't care about what his father did. Like what? Scam away how much money? Oh, well, this is his money. He can do whatever he wants to do. Why not gamble with me and invest in your own son, or your other son, or your 2 daughters, or other people. What did you get out of a settlement? Did you get a settlement? Did you get something from the government or something a few years ago, something like $60,000? Was it $60,000, Dad? Don Arnold, Don Rasp? Did you get something? Did you get something like 60,000 USD American dollars? American, not really American, fake money that still works currently until it goes down and the American money is going. Because of the FRS, Federal Research System, if you're listening to anything I'm saying. Or you can just say, la, la, la. What are you talking about, the FRS? Stupid conspiracy theories. Man, this guy doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Man, he's just talking about stuff. That's what the left does. But if you're awoke, like Neo in the Matrix, then you probably know that's good. Now I'm a little bit too, maybe nervous and crazy, or feeling crazy, or acting crazy, and a little bit of both, feeling and acting, a little bit fake, a little bit not, maybe you don't know, maybe I don't know, feeling all these different things, but I tell you, emotions are not bad, feeling stuff is not bad, but people are gonna say, hey, it's okay to feel good when you're drunk, but don't act crazy if you're not drunk. You gotta spend money to smoke some weed, smoke some drugs, take some drugs, needles, and all that kind of stuff, and food, chocolate, drink something, alcohol, wine, vodka, all that kind of stuff. Drink something, take something, smoke something, then you feel good, then you have a good time, then you act crazy, then you tell people, you're drunk, I'm drunk, it's okay, I'm drunk. But when you find somebody who's not drunk, and they say, I'm not drunk, and then they go, and then you're like, hey, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy because you act like you're drunk and you're not drunk, and you're not allowed to do that. I'm from the left. I'm from Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, who wants to tax you more money, but he didn't actually say that, but that's what he wants, because where do you get the money for all the welfare system? It comes from other people. Food stamps, welfare, costs billions, with a B, billions of dollars every year from the tax dollars, the taxpayers. Every year, the American citizen people have to pay all this money. Why can't they just keep the money? And maybe if they want to, they can give it out to some people. Oh, because we don't trust people, but we trust the government. But the government is made up of people. Yeah, we don't trust people, but we trust the people in the government, but not the people outside the government. So how do you know if the people outside of the government, not working for the government, are worse than the people working for the government? Well, because they're working for the government, that's what's good. Can you verify that? Do you know that? There's a certain... Stop talking, dude! Stop! What was that song? I was going to tell you about a song. It's not that I forgot already. I didn't forget. I was thinking of a song that I was going to post on Facebook today. Just about, learning English and stuff, stuff that's good. It was something like... Eat, hey, I eat today. I eat that. I'm eating food. I ate some food. I'm eating some food. I wanna eat some food, yeah. Some fun in the sun. I wanna eat some ice cream. I don't really have the words figured out and everything. But here's my rant for 2017, December 28th, 12/28, Thursday. It's the afternoon now, probably 12 or 1 p.m. It's gonna gonna take 1 or 2 hours to get home. I might stop at the library. Okay, welcome to the city of Cornelius. Okay, you see that? It's Cornelius. Started in 1893. It's Oregon's family town. Right? So this video, it's probably going to be about an hour, about 40 minutes and 20 seconds right now. Exactly. 40 minutes and 20 seconds. More than that now. 25, 26 seconds. And I'm going. Maybe for another 20 minutes or more. Talking, rambling. This is for the record. This video is for myself and maybe for other people if I can maybe build an audience or something. With I'm not exactly sure if I'm doing a good job at that or not. Sometimes you have to evaluate. Sometimes you have to evaluate life when things are not working right or well enough. Sometimes things don't work. Sometimes things are not working well enough. Sometimes things are not working as you thought they would. And in those situations, at those times, you gotta sit back, reflect, analyze, like I said in the other video. Analyze, you gotta think about it, you gotta reconsider it. First you gotta consider it, then you gotta reconsider it, maybe. If you haven't really considered it in the first place. Then you gotta go try again. Think about it, analyze it with the brain, analyze, with analytism, stuff that people don't do a lot of. They don't do it enough. At least a lot of people on the left. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. You might not know what I'm talking about if you're on the left. Unfortunately, you're like, am I on the left? Well, you might be, but you'll know if you're not on the left. If you don't know you're on the left, then you probably are on the left. That's pretty easy to know. If you think like, I'm not on the left, I just want the government to help me. I want the government to be bigger to help me because I'm a baby and I can't help myself. Sometimes you need help. Sometimes people need help, and that's good. Problem is that the government gets too big, especially in America. The government was getting too big. Especially in the 1920s and even more in the 1930s, heading up towards World War II for America didn't start until the 1940s for a little bit. But there was a little bit of prohibition around the late 1920s, early 1930s. That is something that happened. A prohibition on beer, alcohol, And that didn't really work, You know that now, right? Almost 100 years later. Prohibition doesn't really work, but there's prohibition on all kinds of things in a lot of countries. But bigger government gets bigger. And as that goes. So it's not so good for a lot of people. But regardless, you got to think about your life. And if things are not working, then maybe you need to do things different. I would encourage my father and other people to think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. Like about my house, my life, their lives. Especially my dad, because that's the guy that I have problems with, mostly. I would say that's the point of what I'm trying to say, mostly. I try to say a lot of things, so I'm going to lose some people. I'm losing some people, so it's too bad to lose people. Hello. Hello. So it's difficult. It's difficult sometimes. It's difficult it's difficult to be a light in the dark world. This is my podcast for you. I don't know if I can always make videos like this. Kind of like it. Because I'm just like talking to myself and yelling and stuff. I'm not saying that yelling is good. Sometimes yelling is not really yelling. So that's another thing I would ask Katie Arnold to think about. And other people, don't accuse me of things I don't do, or don't say, or other stuff. I think my older sister Katie Arnold thinks I'm sick, that I need psychological help or something. She may not say that directly to me, or she may not even think that totally. It might be a little subconscious for her, or maybe she's not aware of it. I don't know exactly. I'm not saying that I know, and I'm not saying that my older sister is or isn't. Maybe I don't think she is. No, I mean, I hope she isn't thinking that I'm a, sick, lost, crazy person. But she could, because she always talks about how I need a therapist, I need a counselor, I need somebody to help me. Because I'm not being reasonable and not being normal. And she tends to think, all of her life she tends to think, well, my life sucks, my house sucks, because of what my dad did, maybe, mom, maybe, other people, a situation, being in a ghetto and stuff, being in hell, being in a situation, but it's not my fault at all, maybe, and I have to get out, and I gotta be normal, and I gotta act like other people. Now, is that what my older sister thinks? I don't know, but it's possible, at least to an extent, and in a way. I mean, obviously, everybody kind of have that feeling that other people make them the way they are, and it's not their fault completely or at all. We can all share the blame, the bucket, kick around the bucket of blame and responsibility and stuff, instead of just like making excuses and everything. And I try, and people can try. Now, here's a disclaimer again. I didn't say anything about what Katie Arnold thinks, or may not think, or say, or believe, because I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. Listen to me, let me talk a little bit softer, because my voice is a little bit more smoother when I'm not yelling. And I sound a little bit better. Sound a little bit more smooth, like a smooth operator. But if I'm yelling and stuff, it's a little bit too bad. Because then you just listen to the yelling, the raised voice, and you say, Joey, Arnold, yo, oh my God. Oh my God! But that's all, folks. And that's too bad. So it's too bad to be misrepresented, especially when you misrepresent yourself. I would say that's the biggest problem that I have personally, is not taking the time to polish my public image, my public persona. I apologize. Let people know. Please let people know, because a lot of bad rumors are going around from all kinds of people. People talk about me, but you may not know that, because they're not going to tell you, I talk about Oatmeal Joey Arnold. Instead they'll say, I don't talk about him. He's a nobody. You know what Oatmeal Joey Arnold did? Demons coming out of their mouths and stuff into the cup of Hillary Clinton. You don't really like Hillary Clinton. I don't like what she did in Haiti. I don't like what she was doing, helping Obama in Syria, Libya, other countries, many countries. I don't like what she did in those countries. Hurting people, killing people. I mean, not killing directly, but the effect, the end result is that a lot of people died. And a lot of people didn't get the money, millions of dollars, possibly billions of dollars, maybe even trillions of dollars. If you think about all the money that the Congress is missing the last few years, it kind of happens again and again. Like when they're doing the taxes and when they're doing the budget, they kind of say, oh, well, yeah, we can't account for this money. And some people are like, well, I don't care because it's not my money. But a lot of the money is your money if you're paying taxes, or if other people are paying taxes. If you have a job, your employer pays the money for the taxes. That means you get less money. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. This is one thing that I really hate, is that people who don't work or study economics and taxes and governments and stuff, they're just like, well, welfare is a free thing. My dad probably thinks that, maybe, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he knows. I don't know what he knows if he doesn't tell me because he doesn't want to talk about stuff. That's too bad. Very sad about that. Because I just want to have some kind of relationship with my father, even though I'm a little bit closer to my mother. But, it's too bad. It's too bad, but I'm a little bit like my father. I mean, more so like my father. I mean, biologically speaking. But spiritually speaking, I'm more like my mother. I'm more like myself and a lot of some people that I spend my time around, that I listen to and debate with. Books that you read, things that you watch, everything, the things that you eat. You know that you are what you eat, and that's why I'm oatmeal. I am what I eat. I'm part oatmeal. I'm part Vietnam now. Will always be a part of Vietnam. May go back, or may not. I don't know. I mean, someday, maybe in many years from now, or maybe not. I don't know. Here's a disclaimer. What did I say about where I'm gonna live in the future? I have no idea. I'm ranting. So if I said I'm gonna live on the moon, would you say, wow, Oatmeal Joey Arnold's gotta go. He's going to the moon because he said in his little podcast video thingy that he's going to the moon. Maybe, or maybe not. But sometimes you gotta think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. That's what I say to people who talk about me, whether it's Robin, my dad, other people, all these kinds of people, all kinds of people talking about me, taking me out of context and stuff. I say, hey, why are you doing that? You're putting yourself in a bad place, even if you're trying to, make me look bad. I may look bad, but who cares? I don't care what people think. Oh, but a lot of people are going to care what they think about you. Why? Because they're the ones that control society or something. Really? Do you really think that? Yeah, you gotta make sure that you please everybody and make everybody happy. No, you don't. Yes, you do, because my mommy or the guy smoking on the side of the street, he said you have to do that. I don't know about that. I say the good thing that you can do in your life is be true to yourself the best you can. Do the things that you love that can also help you make money, help people in what they need and want and stuff. Think about that. And that's what I think about all the time. I really do. I'm not here to like hurt people. I'm not really here to hurt people and stuff. I'm not trying to hurt people and stuff. Really, I'm not. And so today was pretty good. So I would say I'm gonna continue to do whatever I do. Now I may try to find work depending on the job. And I'm not here to say that I will not work a normal job. That would be one thing that I may do in the future if you're watching it. For the record, I said this on the 28th of December 2017. About a few days after Christmas 2017. I'm saying this because it's true. Of course, I work. I'm 32. Born in 85 to 1185 in Foursquare. I'm Joe Cool, Oatmeal Joe, whatever you want to call me. I was homeschooled. Went to the Foursquare High School, went to 2 Bible colleges, went to 2 community colleges. I was a camp counselor for 5 years. I had other jobs. I always talk about this, and some people may not really like it. They're like, why are you talking about your life? Who cares? I care. I care. I care. Oh, okay. If you don't care about what I care about, that's fine. Don't watch my videos. If you don't like what I'm talking about, if you don't like what I write, if you don't like what I say, ignore me and walk away. That's what I say. I'm going to do what I do because I want to. Now, am I wrong? Maybe sometimes. Maybe a little bit. But I'm trying. And I'm trying to raise awareness of social injustice in a variety of ways and modes and more. And that starts with the personal level of like yourself and the people around. Not just in the public, not just in the bigger macro arena of the world with politics, famous people. I like to talk about them. I also like to talk about people like my dad. Because I want people to understand that this stuff happens and that you're not alone, because my dad is good and bad in a lot of ways. And I have the potential of becoming like my father in some way. So I make this video as a way of letting me know not to become like that, because I don't want to be somebody like that. Exactly. There's things about him that I like, and that's good, but there's a lot of things that are not very good, and I don't like that. So I would encourage people to have a backbone. This is what I don't really like about my father. I believe that my father says some things until Robin says another thing, and then my dad will pretend he didn't say these other things, and we'll say yeah whatever Robin says, and we'll totally lie about it. Or maybe he doesn't even know that he's lying because he's not able to process it. Or maybe he's been doing this kind of thing with Robin and other people all his life, and it's just a natural thing that he does and have been doing for his 67 years of life. My father is 67, and right now 67 years old, and his father was born in Amsterdam. Peter Rasp. Peter Marinus Rasp. And I say, that's not good. It's not good to lie. To do things that compromise the truth of the greater good, of these objective things that people should care about, that are fundamental, that are traditional, the things that hold together society and people, families, and everything for thousands of years. It works, and it continues to work. A lot of traditions work, and they continue to work because they work. People pass it on, people pay it forward and everything, from son to son, from father to son to grandson, generation after generation. Certain things are passed on, especially the fruits of the spirit. Generosity, the ability to become a man, become a woman, be able to start a new family, have children, continue the family name and the family business and everything in a local community, growing gardens, and other things, lots of things. But these are things that work. These are great things. When you have a mother who stays at home, that's not really a bad thing. A mother could have another job too, sometimes or all the time. Second job, third job, as many jobs as she wants. She's a woman, She can work if she wants. But I'm just telling you, she doesn't have to. But if she doesn't, that doesn't make her terrible. It doesn't make her bad. But there's a lot of people out there, some people out there, I'll say, that are telling you, oh, you gotta work. You gotta work. You're a woman. You're a mother. Oh my God, but you gotta work. I'm telling you right now that being a mother, being a wife, being a housewife is work. It takes a lot of work. You're not any less of a woman for doing that one thing. If you want to do other things at the same time, if you can handle it, if you want to do it or whatever, you can try, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you if you want to have an abortion. I'm not going to try to stop you, but I don't want to pay for it. I know I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to give you money, and I'm not going to be a doctor that does it. Now, if you're a doctor and you want to do it for free, do it for free. Or you want to take some money, okay, get some money. I don't know where you get the money from. Are you getting it from tax dollars? Or what? Or where? Maybe they pay out of pocket in cash. The people, the women, they pay for the abortion. And you wanna help them have an abortion? You can do that. But if I was a doctor, I wouldn't. And I have the freedom to do that. I mean, I think I do. I really want to, because it's my body too. And what I do with my body should be my choice. You wanna kill a baby and say it's your body. Go ahead. But I'm not gonna do that. You wanna work? Okay. You wanna kill a baby and call it abortion and say, well, it's a thing because it's dependent, so it's not alive because it's dependent, whatever. You can do that, have fun. Just don't expect me to pay for it or be a part of it. I'm saying that in a very general way. But that's what you should do. That's what I encourage you to do. To talk about that, like, or not, just have the gut to let people know what you think. If you don't like what I'm saying, let me know. Let everybody know. Let other people know. Okay, so I'm not just saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let other people know, and that's all you can do. But it's better to have some kind of dialogue. One of the things that I don't like about my dad is that he doesn't have conversations with people that are in depth. So how can I respect somebody who doesn't respect me? If my father wants me to respect him, can he try to respect me, talk to me, have some kind of philosophical debate or something, or conversation that is a little bit more deeper than before, deeper than what he thinks it should be, because it should be deeper, you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be deeper. But some people, like my dad, they don't really get it. They don't really maybe understand it. Maybe they never really thought about it. That the world is not really what you think it is. Like, there's so much to the world. Take this from a man who's lived in another country for 5 years. My father has not lived in the country for 5 years. And he hasn't really lived in another state for 5 years either. And I have lived in other states and other countries. Now, I'm not saying that I'm an expert. No angel. I'm not trying to do that. lot better than a lot of people. But I say, hey, I'm telling you that, you can learn a little bit from me, even if I look a little crazy with an egg face and then you shave a little bit and you need some plastic surgery, maybe I need to do things that look more professional and stuff, maybe, or maybe no. Maybe I'm happy the way I am. Like Mr. Rosser says, I'm happy with the way that I am and everything. And maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but regardless of whether or not you like the way that I look, could you at least think about what I'm saying? Think about it a little bit. Please think about what I'm saying. And let other people know what I'm talking about. And that makes the world a little bit better. At the moment, I may not be breaking news. I may not be saying anything that is worth anybody's time, perhaps. You may think that, maybe. I mean, I would argue and say, oh, but this is so cool, or terrible, or something. You got to talk about this, or that. My dad, or oh no, me and Robin and this person, that person, this thing or that thing. Maybe you don't agree. It's okay. Maybe you don't. That's too bad. But that's too bad. But what can I say? What can I say? I can't make you see what I see, know what I know. But I can try my best, and you can too. So if you're on board with making the world a better place, do whatever you can. I'm gonna continue to do what I can. So this is an output for today. And I'm probably going to try to make another update tomorrow. I really do need to try to fix my computers. My computers have problems. And probably not going to post this on Facebook today. Maybe in the future. But this is probably going to be on YouTube, and this could be a test for Robin. If Robin knows about this, it would mean that either one, she's watching my videos on YouTube too, or other people told her, or shared the video to her today. Probably this one time. That might be the case. Maybe somebody will find this video and put it on my Facebook as a link. Maybe it'll get embedded. That might happen. And then some people might say, oh, Oatmeal, he's still online, but he said he's banned because his daddy banned him the internet and computers and everything. So he lied. I said that because my father doesn't want me to talk about my life. He didn't say that. I can tell you he didn't say that, but he basically said something in that direction, in that effect. Like I said in the beginning of the video, my father said that you can't talk about anything that will make people mad at you. That's a liberal thing to say. If anything upsets another person, like Robin, Jamie Dawson, Denise, other people, those are the people in my house at the moment, or other people, if you say something that upsets them, then you're out of line, and you gotta delete it, and you gotta stop it, because you're not allowed to have a different opinion. So it's almost like my father is becoming Adolf Hitler because he's trying to control free speech. And hate speech is included in free speech. And some people, especially liberals, liberals will say, no, it's not. And I say, hate speech is included in free speech. No, it's not. It's not included. It's different. No, it's included, because what is hate? Hate is an opinion. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. Hate is a feeling. It's an emotion. So how do you know, from any objective point of view, what is hateful and what is not hateful? One thing may offend you, may not offend me. And another thing, vice versa, may offend me but not you. This thing, that thing. How in the world do you keep track of it? Well, society is the one that keeps track of it. I say that's a slippery slope. Just look at the Roman Empire. Look at Persia. Look at these different countries and empires in the past. Certain things happened and they fell. Do you know why? Well, I thought study history. Oh yeah, I'm an old man, but I don't really know anything, and I don't know, or maybe I do, but I won't tell you. We can still talk about it. I say, hey, come on and study, and look at the mistakes. That's what Yoda said in The Last Jedi. I was thinking about what I would say at the funeral of my father, and I was going to talk about Yoda. Learn from your mistakes and learn from your father. That's what I was talking about. That's what I would talk about. I was talking about that, like, in my sleep. Kind of. I was just thinking about that while I was trying to sleep last night. While I was hungry with no food and stuff because my dad doesn't want to help me or anything. Oh, stop crying. Stop crying. But I'm not really crying. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. I think you are because I'm not going to listen to what you said. Yeah. That's what basically what people are saying when they say that I'm complaining, including my mom. Whether or not my mom actually thinks I'm complaining or not is another question, but she probably does, and that's unfortunate. Because I posted yesterday on Facebook that my mom is not getting it. My mom is not getting it. She gets some of it, but it seems like she's not getting it all, and that's unfortunate. Just don't disrespect your mother and your father. I'm just telling you how things are. I'm not allowed to tell you how things are. I'm not allowed to tell you when I feel like I'm being offended, I'm being misrepresented, misunderstood. No, you cannot talk about that because you can only talk about what is agreed upon by everybody. But I tell you, not everything is agreed upon by everybody, even in the scientific community. You know that evolution is agreed upon by all the scientists? No, it's not. That's our guys. No, it's not. Are you sure? I'm sure. Go to answersingenesis.org for more info. And I'm telling you, like, it's just too bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just too bad that people can't think about what I'm trying to say. I've been saying a lot of things, and I apologize. And I don't apologize at the same time. But I'm telling you. What was I saying before? I don't know. I need to make live videos again. Maybe I'll do that another time, but I'm gonna probably stay off like Facebook because I know Robin may see that, or other people may tell Robin. I saw a Wi-Fi network called Robin J7 last night for the first time. I'm assuming it's Robin because it says Robin. Oh, I think it says Robins with an S, J7 or something like that. But I don't really know if it's her network, a Wi-Fi network. I was looking for a Wi-Fi network. I'm trying to get Wi-Fi in my room. Failed again. Been trying the whole month. I came back from Vietnam, Thanksgiving 2017, and been working on a lot of things, trying to do a lot of things, and I feel like people don't really know that. Maybe they should, or maybe they shouldn't, but I say, it doesn't really matter if you don't know that, but don't say you do know it when you don't. This morning Robin was saying stuff that wasn't really true or wasn't the whole story and stuff. And I also got an email from Katie Arnold that was talking about what Dad was saying, how Dad was feeling disrespectful and everything. Dad feels or says he feels disrespectful and everything. And I say, that's too bad. And I'm sorry. I would say sorry to my father. Yeah, I'd say sorry if you feel disrespectful. I'm not trying to make you feel disrespectful and everything. I'm trying to make the world a better place. I got food stamps today. I will always, try to make more money. I will always try to find more work, more jobs, more income and everything. That's what I would say to my dad, to my father, if he was listening. And other people should tell him that. People like my older sister, Katie Arnold, and even my mom and my brother, my other sister, they are not saying that. They're probably not saying that. I'm assuming they're not really telling my dad or telling each other the whole story. Instead, like my brother would say back in 2008, 2009, 2010, that I need to get a job, and my father is saying the same thing, it seems. And I say that's unfortunate that you don't think I'm already working. And that's too bad. My mom said that I'm not working either. And that's too bad. Because I'm making money. Maybe not a lot in the moment, but that can grow. Now, I would like to go back to teaching. I was in Vietnam being an English teacher. And I would like to do that online and teach a lot of people and make a lot of money, but I need Wi-Fi all the time to make sure that I can schedule the classes and everything. But I gotta figure out how to make that work. Not sure, can I do that here at my dad's house, my mom's house, my own place, another place, where, what, how, who, those are the questions, and I'm working on it. But I don't really like it when people say that I'm not working when I am. I'm just not doing what they want me to do, not doing the kind of job they want, that they recognize, that they appreciate, that they will recognize. My father doesn't recognize the kinds of work that I do, and my mom doesn't seem to recognize it enough. She kind of recognize it in a way, but she says, well, you can't really make money, posting silly stuff, even though Facebook is making money off the same thing. And there's like 2 billion people on Facebook, and there's also YouTube and Twitter, and lots of websites make money off of you and me and everybody. Like, that they make money by selling your stuff for advertisers, so that advertisers can target you, and they sell your stuff to the governments and organizations like Clinton, Obama, Soros, Rothschild, Rockefeller, other people, Deep State, NWO, lots of kinds of people that you may not know about if you don't already know, if you're not read. Build. Did I say build? I mean pilled. There's probably a bill about the pill, but to make it not work and stuff. But the good people, the awake people, are going to do their best to let people know. And if you're part of the revolution, I would love to meet you wherever you are in the world, especially in America. That's one of the reasons why I came back to America, to make America great again and everything, and I really believe in that. I'm saying that fast and everything because I've been trying to end the video. I'm going to the library. The library is right here behind the trailer. They're doing some construction to make the Cornelius Library a little bit bigger, and that's good because the economy is growing bigger now than the last 8 years with Obama in America, the US of A. I love my country, and I came back even though I love Vietnam, and I want to make Vietnam great again and everything. I want to be a part of like Veritas, or be a part of the WikiLeaks in Vietnam too, but I might not be able to do that in Vietnam. Maybe I have to do it from the outside in, not the inside out, because if I'm in Vietnam exposing the government or other people, some bad people and stuff, systems and laws and stuff, I might get arrested or thrown in jail. I'm a little bit worried. Now, I haven't actually got into that. I've never really done that. I've heard a little bit about some of the corruption that Vietnam may have. Other countries too. People and other things in Vietnam. All kinds of people. I'm not saying this like only Vietnamese people, probably some foreigners too, but it's a big mess. I don't really know about it, but I've heard about it. I would love to help with that, and also continue to help Vietnamese people with learning English, with starting their careers and how to have a better life, how to find a lover to marry, how to start a family, how to be a contributing person in society. I strongly believe that I am a part of society, but people may not know that yet, because I don't really let people know. I don't really show my generosity, even though I think I'm pretty generous in the things that I already do. It's unfortunate that I don't get recognized. I really don't get recognized a lot or enough for the things I already do. A lot of people will say, well, the one thing you did or said, that's nothing, or it's gibbly glob, goobly glob, it's nothing. And that's too bad, because then that doesn't really help. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue to try to learn how to talk a little bit better, because I'm mumbling like Obama. I'm stuttering and stuff, but I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue. I'm going to try to do what I do, and I may change some of the things I do, the videos, the stuff I write, and other things. You know, from time to time. I don't really say that I will not change. I may not admit it all the time or enough. I may not tell you to your face, sorry this, sorry that. I may not say it loud enough or enough, like, thank you for the food, thank you for this thing or that thing. And I have my reasons for doing that, but that doesn't mean that I'm a terrible person, or that I don't say thank you ever, or that I'm not trying to, or I don't show it in my face, or that maybe I'm not saying it because you're always yelling at me and you don't like it when I say thank you, so then I don't say thank you, and then you get mad at me because I say thank you, so then I don't say thank you, and then you're mad at me because I didn't say thank you. Some people are like that, like Robin. And he's going back and forth with a lot of different things, and I said this in the other videos, and people are not getting it. People are not listening. So please let people know, if you're watching this, let them know, because they don't know and they're lying about me. And that's what I'm angry about. I'm angry. I'm an angry, hungry hippo. Angry at my father and other people too, because I don't like when people lie about me. And people are lying about me, and either you know that or you don't. And either you're going to say, well, no, they're not, or you're going to say, yeah, they are. Now, if you know that they're lying about me, what are you going to do about it? Nothing, because then they're going to lie about you too. So is that okay? It's not going to be okay if they take your life, throw you in jail, like Robin threw me in jail, like I said at the beginning of the video. The video started in Hillsboro. Now I'm in Cornelius. I'm going to end the video soon, and it's still going. Hour and almost 30 minutes. Almost 90 minutes, and it's starting to rain a little bit, so I better start packing my bags and going. It's better get in the library before I get too wet and cold. You're going to get too wet and cold, spiritually speaking, if you don't stand up for what you believe in, whatever it is. And if you disagree with me, let's have a debate and stuff, and let's talk about it. Don't just shut me off like the left does. That's what I cannot stand, is people who don't want to have an intellectual conversation, like my dad is not having intellectual conversations. Now, you may not know that, maybe. That's too bad, because maybe you're not intellectual either, but actually, if you're still watching, or if you're jumping in at the end of the video, that's too bad. I mean, but maybe you are intellectual, so you probably know what I'm talking about, so let other people know, because they don't. I need help, I need people to stand up for me, and I don't really have that. I don't have my group or posse, and maybe that's partly my fault, and I'm still, trying to, brand myself better, and I'm trying to take responsibility, and I'm trying to get back on my feet and everything. Today was a good day, because I was able to talk to a few people. One guy was looking for the airport at the Max. I said, yeah, just stay on the blue line, then hop on the red line, and it takes you to the airport, PDX, the Portland airport. Okay, so that was good. Then I went to the other guy, and he was waiting for the Max too. And I saw him at the DMV too, because I just went to try to renew my Oregon ID, and that's going to come in the mail. And I paid the money. I paid some money because I got some money, not a lot of money. You got money? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I got a little bit, but I always need more. But so I got my ID, and I saw him there getting an ID or something, and then I saw him at the bus station, and I also saw him waiting at the Max, getting on the train. So I asked him, hey, where do you get food stamps? And then he was looking on his phone on the internet and stuff, and I said, hey, it's next to the Google. It's next to the Google place. He's like, what Google place? Maybe it's right here. And I was like, oh, I don't think it's downtown Hillsboro or close to there. I think it's a little bit farther out on the edges of Hillsboro before you get to Beaverton. And then he found it at the very end. He was like, yeah, it's here. This is where I went before, and that was interesting. And it was next to the Yahoo offices, not Google's. Or my mind kind of replaced Yahoo with the Google, because Google is the new Yahoo now. And yeah, the Yahoo thing is still there. The Yahoo offices. I don't know how the companies are doing, but I don't know how the Yahoo company is doing. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, got to the office to try to apply for the food stamps. It's not really a big deal. I'm not here to say I'm retarded and don't know how to do that, because obviously I know that. But I don't like it when people like Robin says, "Oh, you need help." And maybe Katie might say it. Maybe Katie doesn't say that. No, maybe other people do. I don't know. But I'm trying to say that I don't like it when people say you need help with knowing how to get a job and how to get food stamps and how to get an ID and all these kinds of things. I've done all these things before and I know how to do it, and I just get so angry and sad that I'm being misrepresented. My own face is misrepresenting myself, because my face doesn't look like it should or like I used to, and that's too bad. But what was I talking about again? Going all over the place. I like going over the place. I like being a jack of all trades. A jack of all trades, but a master of one. A master of one. A jack of all trades, but a master of one. That's what I try to be. That's what I want to be. I want to be the very best. I want to be on top, the America's Next Top Model, and I want to be, a Pokemon master and everything. Not really. I'm kind of joking right now. I'm always mixing parodies, comedy with truth, which I think is cool if you can handle it and if you can figure out what I'm talking about and everything. That's great, but a lot of people don't. I was talking to Mike about that. That's really interesting. That's my style and everything, whatever floats your boat. And I think it's better if people did that and we're able to analyze and figure out, what kind of person is Joe Oatmeal. And what's he talking about exactly? And is that comedy? Okay. And then, but this is factual kind of, and this is a historical thing that he's saying. But then now he's twisting the comedy and then the back, and then but it's not funny. Maybe it's funny, maybe it's not. I don't care. Do I look like a person that's trying to make you laugh? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But like my older sister said, back in 2008, you're trying too hard. I'm trying too hard. No, I don't. I'm trying to be myself. No, you're being different. Yeah, because I am different. Yeah, but you're trying too hard. That's good to try hard. No, it's good to try hard, but not like that. What? You gotta try a little bit, like, what? Oh, anyway, sorry, I'm not trying to be too controversial or ugly, because my teeth are pretty ugly. Gotta work on that. I need help. Can you help me? Can you send me something to make my teeth white and maybe straighten my teeth? Or how can I do that? Because I was supposed to do that. My sister told me about that. Like, you need to do that before you come back to America. Some people kind of expected me to come back to America. I ended up coming back, but it wasn't originally planned. I came back because of Donald Trump and all the other people that represent the Trump movement, the Make America Great Again movement, because that is the George Washington, Thomas Jefferson movement that was at the beginning of our country, the greatest country ever so far. And that's great. Don't let other people trick you into saying, oh, maybe America wasn't the best or greatest because this thing or that thing, or because of socialism that is in some of the countries in Europe and Canada, with the universal free welfare systems and health care, where you can go see a doctor, but you have to wait a little bit too long in line the waiting list is very long when people die and stuff. There's also waiting lists in America in some cases, especially for the veterans and the homeless people, but especially war veterans. That's not a good way to do business, especially if you're a hospital, if you're a doctor. If you let too many people wait, that's just too bad. And there should be better systems out there for helping people, because people don't really want to wait forever. And you can say that something is free, but it's not really free. I mean, unless if you paid for it and give it to somebody, then it's a gift, it's a present, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, whatever, something like that. It's free for the person that you're giving it to. Perhaps, maybe, it should be, potentially speaking, but it's not free for the person who bought it and stuff. So free stuff is out there, but who's paying for it is another question, because things are free for the people who get it, but where does it come from? Does it come from taxes and stuff? And that's the thing that you got to ask yourself. And is it good enough? But America has been a part of capitalism. Some of it, at least a little bit in the 1800s. After the 1800s, not so much. It's been declining because of the bad people with the FRS, Federal Reserve System, and other things. I'm telling you, the NWO and everything, bad people, the corruption, all this kind of stuff. You know it's true. If you know what I'm talking about, let other people know, because they don't really know. I mean, they say they know. Yeah, I know that, but they don't really know enough about it. So you got to ask people questions like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about, how America was in the 1800s compared to how it is now, or how it became in the 1900s? Something to think about, like food for thought. You know what I'm saying? So I still got a lot to say. Always got more to say. And I cannot wait for more people to make fun of me. Cannot wait for my dad to yell at me and tell me, stop talking about me, or I'm gonna hit you. Or actually, he's not actually gonna say that, but you don't like it when my family is going against me. It seems. I'm not saying that my family is, or that everybody in my family is going against me. Maybe they're trying to help, but I feel like if you really want to help me, think about what I'm saying a little bit more and ask me more questions instead of just, oh, Joe, but you need to get help. You need to go to jail or the hospital because you see things different and you act weird and stuff, and we don't accept different things. You gotta stand in a line, another brick in the wall like Pink Floyd. What do you think about that? Alright? Like, subscribe, share with your families, re-upload, mirror this, do whatever you want, and comment as you see fit, or not, and eat more oatmeal. Thank you.